Hi guys, it's Abby with the Bead Place, and today I'm going to show you how to make a solstice bracelet. So you can see a few different styles here. They're pretty cute, aren't they? So this bracelet is a little bit easier than it looks. You have cording, you have Rolo chain and rhinestone chain. We also finished the bracelet off with a really cute accent bead. This is just one of those European style beads that has a larger hole. The purpose is not only to be cute, but it also separates the chain at the top so that the bracelet stays nice and in shape when you are taking it on and off. So there's also kind of a more masculine style of this bracelet that we did a few videos back. This bracelet is called Chain Waves, and this is just with chains, so you can make this as a gift for a guy or use the solstice style with the rhinestones as a gift for a girl. So we have the materials that we're going to use are cording. You can use leather cording, or I have Genya cord here, which is vegetable leather. The size that I'm using is 1.5 millimeter, and I have 4 millimeter Rolo chain and 4 millimeter rhinestone chain. So you want to match your rhinestone chain to the size of your Rolo chain. If you're using smaller rhinestone chain, like this is 3 millimeter, you would use smaller Rolo chain, 3 millimeter Rolo chain. And then you'd also want to use a smaller size leather. So this is 1 millimeter leather. So I have 2 pieces of Rolo chain that are cut to about the size of my wrist, just a little bit more. Now this bracelet is adjustable, so your measurements aren't going to matter that much. But if you just kind of are a stickler like me, just go a little bit longer than the size of your wrist. And then your rhinestone chain is going to be the size of your wrist, just like that. And I also have a matching European style bead that we're going to use. The first thing that we're going to do is fold your big long length of leather in half. So I have this piece, it's about 2 meters long. You'll have ends that you'll cut off. It's better to have a little bit too much than too little. So I've folded it in half. What I'm going to do is string the very end of my Rolo chain on. I'm going to put on the European style bead, and then I'm going to string on the second end of my other piece of my Rolo chain. So we're going to string that all the way to the middle, and then we're going to start the braid. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is take one side of the cording, and I'm going to skip a link and go through the third link. So since I'm coming out of this side, I'm using this side of leather, I'm going to bring it in this direction. So I'm going to not go through the first one, not go through the second one. I'm going through the third link, and I'm also going to go through the third link on the second piece of chain as well. So I'm going to pull that all the way through. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I have the cord that's coming out of this side of the first link. I'm going to skip the second link and go through the third link in this direction. We're coming out of this side, then we're going to take it through this. So we're actually making kind of like figure eights. So I'm going to put that through, and your cord should just pretty much fit through perfectly. It's not really going to have much room to wiggle around, but that's a good thing. So this is what it should look like. We're going to take this piece of rhinestone chain here, and we're going to work that between these 2 pieces of cord. So we're going to just kind of gently separate them and just pop the first link right between the 2 Rolo chains and right between the 2 lengths of cord. So you can see if we turn it around to the back side, the cording is going across the rhinestone chain on the back as well. So now is where it gets a little bit more complicated. What we're going to do is take this piece of cording that's coming out of this side, and we're going to go into the 5th link. So we're always skipping one link when we're going through. We're going to go into the 5th link, but we're going to pay attention to make sure that we're going in front of the rhinestone chain, and then we're going to come out the other side. So we're going to go through the rollo, over the rhinestone, and then through the rollo on the other side. And now with the other side, we're going to go through the rollo behind the rhinestone chain, and then through the rollo on the other side. So just like that, and you're going to tighten it so that it's about like that. I'm going to bring in for a closer look. Okay, so now that you can see it a little closer, we're going to take the string that's coming out of this side. We are going to skip a link and go through this link right here. We're going to go in front of the rhinestone chain and then out the rollo chain on the opposite side. So we're keeping the tension fairly uniform. You can always go in and adjust it after you have gone through a few passes, but it's a little bit easier to kind of keep it all uniform as you go. So you don't want to pull it so tight that the rollo chain cinches in. You want to keep it pretty loose, but you want to make sure that this is just kind of hugging the rollo chain. So I'm going to take the cord, this cord right here, and I'm going to go through this rollo chain right here. I'm going to make sure that it comes, I'm going to make sure that it comes behind the rhinestone chain. Maybe. And then it's going to go out that rollo chain length that's opposite on the other side. So like that. Whoops. And you might have to adjust where the cord is going as you go along. Like as you can see, 2 little rhinestone guys popped up into place, and that's just easily fixed. So this is what it looks like so far. If you have rhinestone chain that's not the exact correct size for what you're doing, it will still look really pretty if you just kind of find the right placement. So you can see that this one has 2 rhinestones in between each rollo, and this one looks really cool. And then if you have a bracelet that's a little bit wonky, what you can do is just pull it tight, and it'll cinch all of the rollo chains up, and it'll still look really nice. So you can play with the number of rhinestone chains between each rollo chain. You can even do 1, 2, 1, 2, or just however you want to make it look pretty. So I'm going to continue on with my steps like this until I get to the very end, and I'll show you what I do when I get to the end. Alright, so I've completed the whole bracelet. This is what it looks like from the front, and this is what it looks like from the back. Now you'll see that I have one more pass to go, and then I have an extra piece of rhinestone. So if you get to the end and you have a few extra links of chain, you can cut them off, or if you have an extra little rhinestone guy, you can cut that off. Just use your regular wire cutters and just trim it off. Okay, so our last step is to just complete the last pass like normal. We're going to go in and capture that last little rhinestone. And then I'll show you how to make it an adjustable bracelet. So this last little rhinestone just needs to get captured right between those last passes of cord, and you want to pull it tight, but not so tight that it cinches shut, like what I just did. So pull it so that it's like that. And now what we're going to do is kind of hold the bracelet in a circle like this. We're going to take this side closest to you, not closest to me, and we're going to bring it through from you to me through this end rollo chain, the European style bead, and then the other rollo chain. So this is what we're doing. it's coming through like that. Then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I have this, I'm going to bring it up and through the Rolo chain, the European style bead, and the Rolo chain. Now this last pass through is going to be a little tight, but just kind of push it through and it will work just fine. So now what we're going to do is figure out about an approximate size. What you want to do is make sure that you have enough space in this little area so that you can comfortably slide it on over your hand. So once you've done that, what you can then do is make sure the sides are equal, and we're going to tie an overhand knot on each end. So make a loop and bring the tail end through the loop, just a regular knot, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make a loop and bring the tail end through the loop and tighten it. So we'll double check before we cut the ends to make sure that this can go on, and then we'll trim the ends. So leave a little bit of tab. You can apply glue to the knots if you find that it's necessary. I don't think it's super necessary, but it just depends on how stiff your cord is. So now what you're going to do once you put it on is you just pull the ends so it cinches up. You have a cool bracelet. What I like to do is sometimes tuck the ends underneath if I'm working with my hands a lot and those ends get kind of annoying, but otherwise they just kind of hang down and they're kind of like a cute little tassel. So all the materials can be found on beadplace.net. We're going to have a kit. There's a link in the description. All the product information is going to be in the description below. If you liked watching this video and you want to learn how to make cool bracelets like this, we post a new video each month. And you can subscribe to the channel. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching.